When it's summertime, there's swimming, and while many like to swim in the pools, others enjoy swimming in our freshwater lakes and ponds nearby. But our recent rain and the intense heat create the potential for harmful bacteria to grow in the fresh water. Dr. Therese Lennon from Akron Children's Hospital joins us now with helpful tips for families that they can protect themselves with. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, doctor, what kinds of bacteria can people find that's harmful to them if they go swimming in the fresh water?
So if we're specifically talking about bacteria, the ones that are most concerning are Shigella and a harmful type of E. coli. But other pathogens can live in the water as well, including viruses and Cryptosporidium.
Got it. So what factors lead to bacteria growth in the kinds of waters that we're talking about?
So just like you were talking about, a lot of rain and the temperature can make for a good breeding grounds. And unfortunately, the other thing that breeds it within fresh water is both humans and other animals who will defecate in the water.
Is there any way that you can tell a pond or a lake may not be safe to swim in due to bacterial growth? Or, I mean, is it possible you can just look at the water and know that?
So unfortunately, not just by looking at it, but there are some things you can do before you even get to your freshwater lake. And that is by checking with the Environmental Protection Agency's website. There's a website that says How's My Waterway? And that link should be able to give you some advice before you even get there. Now, if you get to the water and it looks murky or it smells worse than it should, that is also a very good clue that there is probably something breeding in the water that you do not want to swim in.
Oh, that's good to know. What are the common symptoms that you see in patients if they've been exposed to the bacteria or a virus in the water?
For sure. So most of what we see is gastrointestinal. So we'll see diarrhea, we'll see some vomiting. In kids, they often have fever. Sometimes the bacteria in the water can lead to skin infections as well. So you'll notice some bizarre rashes that can occur.
And can that happen if you're swimming in a regular swimming pool too, where they've got the chemicals and they're treating the water?
So it can happen anywhere, but far less likely to happen in a treated pool, of course.
Okay, is there ever a time where you should question a pool? Maybe make sure it's safe and make sure it's clean. What would be a telltale sign that you look for when you get in the water?
So if we're talking about a pool, it should be treated, so it's less likely to breed bacteria. But again, you're looking for a pool that looks like more murky, or water that just doesn't look like clear, clean water, or water that doesn't smell very fresh when you get in it.
Now, what are some of the types of treatments that you offer to people? Let's say their symptoms are lingering longer than you'd like.
For sure. So if you're having lingering symptoms, you should probably reach out to your doctor or your pediatrician. You can go to Akron Children's, or you can call your local primary care office. But depending on what type of bacteria it is and how it's affecting you or your child may need to be treated with fluids and or antibiotics. Other ways to prevent infection when we're talking about swimming in water is to make sure you don't, or you or your child does not have any open cuts, because those are great breeding grounds for infection. And trying to teach your children not to swallow water when they're swimming.
All right, yes, important tips. Dr. Lennon, thank you so much. As everyone wants to take a dip in the pool, it's hot weather right now. We've got to make sure that water is safe. Thank you for joining us.